Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. So today we're jumping right into a seriously fascinating biological puzzle. I mean, if you're a human being living on Earth right now, chances are you're intimately familiar with one very specific, very frustrating complaint. But what if I told you that the nagging ache you feel after a long day sitting at your desk isn't actually just because of a bad office chair? What if the real culprit is, well, literally millions of years old? We're going to unpack the evolutionary mystery of back pain and look at exactly how our journey as a species kind of set us up for a lifetime of lower back struggles.
Ouch, my back. It's pretty much the universal human catchphrase, right? You've said it, I've definitely said it, your parents say it all the time. Whether we're lifting heavy groceries, bending down to tie a shoe, or honestly, just waking up in the morning, this exact phrase echoes around the globe every single day. We've all got our fair share of aches and pains, but this particular one, it's something practically everyone shares. It's kind of like a rite of passage into adulthood. But why? Why are our backs so seemingly fragile? Well, to figure that out, we really have to rewind the clock.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, the four-legged straight structure. Basically, the golden era of the spine.
So long before we were walking upright, commuting to work, and staring down at our smartphones, our ancient monkey ancestors navigated the world very, very differently. And what's absolutely incredible about this original anatomy is its mechanical perfection. The spine functioned a lot more like a suspension bridge, It was completely straight without all those complex curves we have today. Because our ancestors walked on four legs, the weight of the body was distributed perfectly evenly. Those four legs provided flawless, balanced support without a single point of overwhelming pressure. It was an absolute anatomical masterpiece of load-bearing efficiency. No back pain in sight.
But then, things changed. Section 2, the rushed evolution.
As we all know, we didn't stay on four legs forever. According to researchers and doctors, a massive twist occurred in our biological timeline. The core issue isn't just that we stood up, it's that we stood up way too fast. Our evolutionary process practically hit the fast-forward button, and the math here explains the mystery beautifully. Think about this. To evolve from a fish in the ocean to a four-legged monkey navigating the trees, it took a leisurely 400 million years. Biology had plenty of time to slowly tweak, adjust, and perfect the anatomical design. But to go from a four-legged monkey to a two-legged bipedal human, that took only 30 million years. In evolutionary terms, 30 million years is literally the blink of an eye. It was a ridiculously fast transition.
30 million. That incredibly short window left us fundamentally unprepared to carry around the weight of our own heavy heads. The source material actually has a brilliant little joke about this pacing. It's almost as if someone up there looked down, complained that things were moving way too slowly, and just yelled out, "Hey, speed up evolution!" The whole process was completely rushed, the blueprint was altered on the fly, and our straight, suspension bridge spines were suddenly forced to act like a vertical pillar holding up a bowling ball. Which brings us to Section 3, the curved spine, and the price we pay.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real mechanical consequences of our rushed evolution. Our bodies were forced to compromise. A straight spine couldn't support a heavy head upright without us just, tipping over. So a whole anatomical domino effect began. First, the spine had to urgently adapt to carry that uniquely intelligent but very heavy head. To manage that top-heavy weight, the spine actually twisted and curved into an S shape. But here's the catch. This bending inadvertently created highly vulnerable stress points, drastically increasing the risk of fractures. Ultimately, because of this vertical curve, the absolute lowest part of the back suddenly had to take on the entire load of the upper body. Because of this massive shift, your lower back bears the entire load. When you sit, when you stand, when you walk, gravity is constantly pushing down. And all that weight, which used to be beautifully distributed across four legs, is now heavily concentrated on just a few small vertebrae at the very bottom of your spine. This isn't just about having bad posture or skipping the gym. It's the direct mechanical result of a rushed evolutionary adaptation. This is exactly why the lower back is the universal pain point for humanity. So let's look at Section 4, Nature's Joke.
This brings us to a somewhat humbling realization about our place in the broader animal kingdom. We really pride ourselves on walking upright and having our hands free to build civilization, but nature might actually be having the last laugh at our expense here. We are very much the odd ones out. Look around at nature today. The vast majority of animals still walk on four legs. They never made that hyper-rushed leap to bipedalism. And because they stayed horizontal, they completely avoided this upright spine problem. Their spines are still operating like perfectly balanced suspension bridges. That's exactly why you don't see dogs, cats, or horses constantly complaining about their lower backs or scheduling deep tissue massages.
They are mechanically sound in a way that we simply aren't anymore.
Which leaves us with a highly provocative and honestly incredibly funny final thought. If walking on two legs is the root cause of our chronic back pain, should we just give up and go back to walking on four legs? I mean, sure, it would absolutely solve the structural load on our lower spine, even if it meant eating our dinner off the floor would look incredibly awkward. Now, obviously, we aren't going to devolve back to all fours, but understanding this evolutionary mismatch can totally change how you view your own body. Your back pain isn't necessarily a failure of your health, it's just an evolutionary tax we all pay for standing up to see the world. So, the next time your back aches, are you just going to blame your chair, or will you blame the 30 million rushed years of human evolution? Think about that.